So what are the solutions? What is the
going back to
what should
that.
be the energy mix? Where should it be coming from?
Yeah, so we definitely need to electrify everything as much as possible because that's a lot more efficient on the energy side.
Like cars.
Yeah, like cars, but also our homes, heating, everything that isn't run on electricity right now. We should transition to electricity.
I think we're going to struggle with planes.
Planes is going to take a little while. Yes. But there's some experiments going on there. So we need more investment in that.
Mm-hmm.
But we also need a shift in the way society works. And part of that is again, that we have these really bad incentives, and the way that the economy works is like this, like economic growth idea. Like you have to keep growing. Your business has to keep growing. Your profits have to keep growing. Of course, you have to keep up with inflation, right? Because there's always, the money printing aspect of it. That's a problem.
I think this is the area you're going to really struggle with winning hearts and minds.
Yeah.
I think changing the energy mix is doable because it doesn't affect people's lives as long as they can have energy. So they can drive their car, as long as they can heat their house. Trying to get people to the idea that you're going to shift society away from growth and the importance of GDP. That's a toughie.
Yeah, it's tough. But I think Bitcoin is useful in that because of the monetary cap. And so Bitcoin can grow in a way that could possibly track our like energy needs over time. And this is not so detached from something called degrowth, which is a big deal in the climate movement. And for the first time, actually, in this recent IPCC report, they actually mentioned degrowth.
What's degrowth?
So degrowth is basically, it's this idea where certain aspects of the economy have to stop growing because the resource use is too much. Like it's very wasteful. Like for example, like fast fashion.
Yeah.
And in order to grow the economy, you also need to use energy. Now, it's not really a question of whether we have enough energy, right? Like energy abundance, like obviously we have the sun and we have renewable energy, and it's really a matter of getting these resources online. But the way that we use these resources is incredibly destructive because the whole goal is for maximizing profit. So you have to disentangle that. You have to break that connection. And the best idea that I can give for Bitcoiners really is Jeff Booth's book and his ideas about deflationary economics and deflationary technology. And I think that the stuff that he's talked about aligns very well with the ideas from degrowth. And again, like going back to these ideas of localism. And that can actually, I think that's actually really important because the level of consumption that we have in the West has really damaged other parts of the world, like in the global South, like our plastics, right? We ship them off. They're supposed to be recycled. They get shipped off to like South Asia or whatever. Yeah. And what do they end up? Like they don't really recycle them if nobody's buying them. So they end up just being piled up in their countries. And Lynn Alden has talked about this, like how countries ship off their like high energy or their carbon intensive industries overseas to make it look like they're actually reducing emissions. So we as the rich Western nations are just polluting these other places with our desire for things that just can be easily replaced, right? So we have to change how we operate in society. That's really important. And I think that obviously is going to take a long time to do that. But I think that Bitcoin incentives are aligned with that process. And people, when I talk to people in Bitcoin, like they're really on board with that. Like people are like, yeah, I don't like the way our society works. I don't like that we're so consumerist. We used to have products that lasted a long time.